This is Heat Live. The series is over. 4-3. It took all 7 to do it. But what a colossal performance by the defending world champions to grab the 4th Eastern Conference championship in team history. And moments ago, I caught up with a man who came here to do just this. After his 10-point performance led by 3 threes, Ray Allen. Ray, all the time, LeBron talks about the reasons he came down here. I'm assuming returning to an NBA Finals is one of the reasons you came down here. So having that off the to-do list feels like what now?
That's what this is all about. You think about everything that we went through along the road to get here. You know, so many low points and there's a lot of high points, but when you get to this moment, you say, this is why we do it. This is what we did it for. And, you know, you forget all those tough losses and just, this is it right here. And this is what you cherish for the rest of your life.
What did it take tonight in this deciding game of the series to return back to the Miami Heat basketball that got you to the top of the conference in the first place?
Well, I think the one thing I learned about this team is that when our back's up against the wall, we fight, you know, we push, we scratch, we claw, we do whatever we have to do. And, you know, in the Chicago series, that was the same thing. You know, coming in this series, like, we always found a way to get it done. And we focused even more. That was the one thing. Like, everybody grinds it out. And, you know, that's almost a position we'd love to be in.
How nice was it for you? You've been doing this a lot. You've made a lot of threes. You've shot a lot of threes. But to have your threes falling again.
It was great. I mean, that's all you need. I don't have any. I've shot so many threes. It just I never question myself. It's just getting the next shot, taking it and making it. And you know, you see it going through the net. It just means everything.
With the fact that you all only have one goal to win it all, is this still a special moment?
It is, because no matter what you do, no matter individually what we do, you know, good and bad, this moment is what it's all about, like winning the championship, because we all get to share in it. You know, this is a team sport. The city gets to share in it. You know, Heat fans around the world get to share in it, and nobody can take this away from us.
I know the Spurs are thinking about you right now. I don't know if you've given them a thought just yet, but on Thursday, it's the quest for everything. Your initial thoughts?
There's no tomorrow after that. You know, you can look at your calendar, your schedule, and you know there's an end point. And everything we do, we got to leave it out there. And, you know, the whole world's watching, and we got to be our best, play our best.
Eastern Conference champ, thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Ray.
Defensive team in the NBA, and I think the Heat wanted to show them they could equal their defense right from the gun. They made it very difficult for them. How about Coach Spoelstra making the change, putting LeBron James on Paul George to start the game. Paul George was never in sync in this game. You saw the best defender in the NBA tonight, guarding a very good player, was averaging 28 points the last 2 games, and the Heat dominated this game defensively. They got after the defensive boards, giving up 8 offensive rebounds. This Pacer team, who had 44 points in the paint in Indiana, only had 30 tonight, along with Miami. So instead of the Heat losing by 22 in the paint, it was 30-30. Great defense by the Heat.
It was actually 30-28. Miami wins the battle of points in the paint. So the team that has won the points in the paint battle goes 6-0 in this series. So Miami wins the points in the paints battle tonight. They also win the second chance points battle 22-12. Rebounded the Heat through 6 games by 10 a game. But tonight, the Heat out-rebounded them 43-36 and out-offensive rebounded them 15-8. Tony, this is the same series where the Heat were out-rebounded by 19 in a loss and by 20 in the Game 6 loss. How could there be such a wide disparity in this series?
That's why it was so frustrating watching the Heat play in some of the previous games. You know they can do it if they put their mind to it, and then tonight proves it with the angst of knowing that they could lose, the urgency of knowing that it could be the last game. You can see how they responded. This team has to be pushed to the limit. When the adversity is at its highest against the Heat, that's when they play the best. There was one time during the game where Dwayne Wade had 5 offensive rebounds and the whole Indiana team had 3. I mean, that's an amazing stat when you think about them being the top rebounding team in the league. Not having a good series in the biggest game of the season for the Heat, do or die, the future Hall of Famer comes through. Makes his J early in the game. He was going to the basket. The Heat made a concerted effort of going right at this Pacer team. They forced 38 free throw attempts, 33 for 38. They created a lot of fouls on some of their bigs. That was the best move of the game right there. Stevenson's trying to steal it, and Wade goes in and throws it down. He was making his little runners in the lane and making his jumpers.
One of the things Miami was able to do tonight was get to the free throw line. You see Wade's numbers. Miami, they're high in the playoffs, 38 free throw attempts. They're high in the playoffs, 33 free throws made.
He can go to the basket with the best of them. He can dunk with the best of them off offensive rebounds. He can draw fouls. He can hit the J. He can make the assists. He can rebound the ball. He did all of those things tonight. He controlled the tempo of the game. The best player on the planet, the most skilled guy, just did a tremendous job, and then he defended Paul George at the other end, who wound up with 7 points, 2 for 9 in the game.
You know, Tony, this was the first time in this series where Miami's relentless basket attacks put pressure on Roy Hibbert. It was the first time in this series that Hibbert had to deal with foul trouble. Hibbert wound up with 5 fouls and just 8 rebounds. Paul George ended up fouling out of the game with a series-low 7 points. For LeBron, his 5th game of 30 or better in the playoffs.
So let's take a peek at exactly how you went about your work today, and what was your mindset going in on how you wanted to attack the game?
Well, just to attack. That's what it was about, just really attacking. I didn't really, I wasn't worried too much about missing shots or anything. I just wanted to be aggressive. You know, I missed a couple of easy ones, but, you know, it wasn't really about that. It was just about staying on the floor of the game, making sure I assert myself and, you know, shoot the basketball.
And you got opportunities to do that. Oh, here we go. That's how we finish right there.
Yeah.
That's how we finish a highlight.
Yeah, draw.
And as you take a peek at what you're able to do in this series, not the best series statistically, but you even said this morning, you don't care.
Yeah.
And his voice is going to grind it. I'm grinding my voice to the end. Look at all this stuff right here. These are cats getting ready. LeBron saying LeBron stuff. First quarter, D. Wade, spin, and he can finger roll. He had 7 of 16 shots, and then LeBron. This is going to be something else. He's looking on the weak side, that strong side now, isn't it? And a little and-one basketball. He had 15 of his 16 free throw attempts. Look at it again. How big were those eyes?
Lighten up when he saw the opening on the baseline. Look, drives to the basket equal good things, whether it's collapsing and penetration for kicks or maybe rebounds. And look at that defense, just suffocating David West, forcing him out of bounds almost.
And then it's time for Wade to believe he can fly. Oh, he had a steal, and that was a nice one as it led to a jam. But the Heat were down 2 after 1. So let's go to the second quarter. Crotty, Ray's back.
Ray is back, and with a vengeance. Came right off the bench looking to shoot and got himself going with that early 3 there. He was incredibly effective in that second quarter. 3 made 3-pointers and 10 points in that quarter.
And now it's time for the All My Sons move of the game. Oh, Norris, Cole. Every now and then, even LeBron has to get on the Cole train. That was perfect. Put it up there. I got it. I believe if you put a cupcake right on the rim, LeBron would have tasted it. Look at this.
I like how LeBron just pointed up. Go ahead, young fella. Throw it up there. I'll tell you, Norris put it there beautifully, out of the reach of Stevenson and George and Augustin there, and able to knock it down.
Chris Bosh with some redemption. He hit 1 of his 2 attempts around there. I think he's fired up.
Ooh, a little
I think he's fired up. You can watch the labrum there. You can go so hard. Let's go to the third quarter. The Heat in control. Wade forcing the turnover. Let's go. Here we go. Get it there. That's not going to happen. But then Wade with the putback, he had 21 points. And then here's what I want you to do. Remember the cupcake thing? Okay, remember how that would taste? If you could taste that, that would be 3-licious. Yes, it would be. Oh, that's tasty, isn't it? Crowdy, talk to me about Dwayne Wade. We're going back to my man.
Wade was just relentless. Look at him attacking again. He winds up finishing on the offensive glass very effectively with that putback there. He had 6 offensive rebounds for the game.
Look at the action, getting it done. Dwayne Wade again, 21 points when everybody thought he was done. This is called the fourth quarter, but I'm just going to call this bus driver. Each play, bus driver. LeBron's going to dribble up again over George. Somebody get the Pacers, bus driver.
Look at how he's creating that space between he and the defender with the dribble. They're totally respecting his drive, Jax, but he's knocking down that mid-range jumper. Impossible to guard him when he's doing that.
Stop with your analysis. I need a bus driver for the Indiana Pacers. They're going back to Indiana. Get out. Seriously, did you see Coach Vogel totally give a forearm shiver to Mike Miller? Nobody saw it but me
I saw
and Mike.
it. I was wondering where he was
and
going
Vogel.
with that.
And I hope I'm questioned by authorities on that issue. It didn't happen during this session. This was very respectful.
Yeah, very
Bird!
Bird getting to hold the trophy up for the first time right there.
Conference champion, first time in his career. Good stuff. So not a pretty night offensively for the Miami Heat, but because of the way they play defense, they were able to create so many more opportunities to get themselves to 99 points with a sandwich. That is going to do it for this edition of Heat Live. Once again, our final score, 99-76. Things started off nip and tuck, back and forth, a 2-point first quarter separation with the Pacers holding the lead. But then the Heat put on the defense, and the game was easier for them. They kept pushing and pushing their defensive edge, and it turned into an explosion for them on way to victory. And it was all led by LeBron James. 32 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. It was great to see Ray back with 3 threes. A tough night for Paul George as he had 1 more point than he had personal fouls. 7-6. And so it is all done as the Heat move on to the NBA Finals 2013. For Kristen Hewitt, Eric Reed, Tony Fiorentino, John Crotty, and our entire Sunsports team, I am Jason Jackson. Good night, good day, and welcome to the NBA Finals.